Okay, here's a quick parenting lesson, and here's a quick lesson for the American populace. You may be thinking, and pardon the music in the background. I like listening to music while I speak. There are some men who may be thinking, well, Armen, are you teaching us about God in golf terms? I mean, are you giving us a golf lesson when it comes to, because yeah, I would rather play golf than do any of this. But of course, that's an impossibility when I can't come up with $10 profit after 8 hours. Am I teaching America ultimately? I mean, is this just a big, stern, tough love? And the term is from the hole out. Now, do I put you in hell like you're supposed to learn golf? The way you learn golf is you learn it from the hole out. So the first thing in golf that you work on is your pickup. The first thing you literally work on in golf is pulling the ball out of the hole. That's your first lesson. What do you look like? How do you look like? And are you good at picking the ball up out of the hole? Literally, first lesson. Grab the ball from the hole and you pull it out of the hole. That's lesson number one. How are you going to pull that ball? And that is teaching, okay, you've got the ball that comes out of the hole and then you drop it 2 feet away. Okay, now let's see you do 52-foot putts. And then let's see you do 54-foot putts. And then let's see you do 56-foot putts. That's from the hole out. And then you go all the way back. And then after you've worked all your irons, it's very important only after you work your irons, your iron game, then you may, at the instructor's determination, swing the big dog. No hybrid clubs allowed. You're not that good. But that is how you teach golf from the hole out. And you have to be perfect pulling that ball out of the hole. Now, another thing that you use for teaching golf is with that 2-foot putt. Listen to the sound of the ball hitting the cup. What does the ball sound like dropping into the cup? And you get used to that sound. And that sound is the reward. What is the reward at golf? Hearing that ball hit the bottom of that cup. And then all the way back, you know, you're always going to be within range putting to usually hear the ball hit the bottom of a cup. And then you associate that because you should be within 3-foot circle to putt in from wherever you're at. You should always be within a 3-foot circle. The hole is 3 foot. 3-foot radius. 3-foot radius. Not diameter, but radius. So you have a 3-foot radius. The hole is 3 foot big. You always drop it within that 3 feet. That's golf. And then you learn how to pick up the ball. But you always want to get the sound. Now you may be asking, well, are you teaching us about Jesus and the God of Abraham and the Sabbath and morality and how to be good people? Are you starting, because you've got us in hell beyond all get out, are you teaching us from 24 feet below absolute zero with dectillion to the power singularities, where this universe is only one singularity, based on our understanding, the weight of dectillion universes on top? Are you teaching us from the hole out? I mean, is this going to be a lesson that's really going to stick? No, that's absolutely not what I'm doing. That'd be ridiculous. Now, yes, there is a fear of God, but now this is the parenting lesson. And the fear of God is the beginning of instruction. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Absolutely. The sooner you learn that God is and can kick your ass about it, the better off you are. But now, let's take that lesson to a child. Okay, come here, kid. You left your bike out one more time. Now, I'm gonna have to spank you over it. Do you lay into the kid? No. Put him across your knee after this discussion. You stand the kid up in front of you while you're sitting down. Do you know what you did wrong? Are you perfectly aware now that you're busted and in trouble and are about to get a spanking? Do you know exactly what you did wrong? What is wrong in this entire situation scenario? What did you do wrong? The kid will reply, I left my bike out. Where does your bike belong? Not out. Close enough. A little smart alecky. Close enough. You're under pressure. You're under duress right now. So, leaving your bike out equals 3 swats on the butt. You understand that, right? I do now, the child would say. I told you I would spank you if you left it out one more time. Okay, the kid's busted. Now, you sit there in your room. I'll be back when I decide. Sits there waiting for a spanking. Nobody likes waiting for a spanking. You're sitting there feeling busted. Let him understand it. Let him cog it. This equals that. That's what happens. You leave your bike out, you're going to get a spanking. Now, how do you administer that spanking and to what degree? You put the kid over your lap. Dominant or non-dominant hand, it really doesn't matter because you can control yourself. And you give him 3 sharp swats on the butt, but not enough to actually bruise, not enough to even draw tears. Now, you may get in the back of his mind, well, that didn't even hurt. And then it's difficult to explain to him, but in the back of your mind, this is the lesson you will explain to him someday. If I wanted it to hurt, son, I'd throw you out the fucking window. That wouldn't solve anything. The greater the punishment does not solve you making sure and being reminded, because then you're going to be rebellious and dad's just being mean, mom's just being mean, and then you get their sense of fairness all askew, and then it's like, oh, well, screw the lesson then, man, that was mean. So it's not throwing them out the window that teaches them. Okay, that hardly hurt, you're going to tell me. Okay, I didn't intend for it to hurt. Hurting you is not the lesson. Hurting you is not the goal. Reminding you this equals that. Leave it out again and see if those 3 swats are the same. Then you walk that up if you need to. You probably shouldn't have to, because if you got an intelligent kid, is at least as intelligent as you, he understands, okay, he ain't looking to hurt me, just this equals that. Now, why don't I leave my bike out, Dad? Why? Explain to me in the big scheme of things in life, and you know, it's rust proof. Why can't I leave my bike out? 1, you tempt thieves. You want to remove the temptation so you're not part of the problem. Why do I lock my car doors, kid? So they don't steal your car? No, I got insurance. I wish they would. I'd have a nicer car. Because, then I don't know why. Why? Because somebody walks past and sees it locked, they are not tempted to steal that car. So I personally remove the temptation from them wanting to steal a car. I don't make myself as an easy target. I'm not using my car as a bait car. Neither am I using your bike in the yard as a bait situation to get you in the room to smack you around. What I'm actually doing, and why can't I, is because I worked hard for that bike. Your mom works hard for that bike. You worked hard for that bike. With compliance and who you are. I mean, it might work hard. It may be hard work for you to come up and smile at me, but you know that works most of the time, right, kid? Yeah, okay then. So the lesson is not to inflict pain. Why do I have to put the bike in the, why can't I put it in the garage? Lesson and reason number one, if you leave it behind one of our cars, we will run it over, not give a fuck, and you ain't got a bike. Period, because we ain't buying you another one. We told you where to park it. Okay. The destruction of the bike and the loss of property. Understood. But now in the big scheme of things, why do I have to put it in the garage? Because I can take the hit not having a bike. I got a skateboard. You guys can afford the hit because you bought me a skateboard and I got another bike in the garage. So losing a bike isn't the real. Why do I have to put my bike in the garage? Then you stand the kid up. Because I said, period. Now cut it. Get your ass in your room before I really start opening up. And Bill Envol, you guys know Dad's got to be a little bit crazier than everybody else. It is because I said ultimately. But doling out the punishment, if it's too harsh, it's going to offend his sense of fairness and you're just going to piss the kid off. You don't want to piss him off and you don't want to inflict pain for the lesson. You just want him to know that this equals discomfort and a swat. Nobody wants discomfort. Nobody wants a swat. So, am I teaching you from the whole out about Christianity and Judaism and the God of Abraham and the Sabbath and Jesus? Absolutely not, because where you've already landed as grown-ass men and women over your abuse of children has got you buried, and there is no way out. Because you knew this shit. Now God's to the point, because I said so, pay the fucking wage and stop this fucking rape. Bullshit. Stop raping each other and pay the fucking wage. Because I said, says God. But now you've walked it all the way up to where he, the God of Abraham, this is such strange work to him, cannot think of anything worse to do to you. Keep playing ball, motherfucker, because God spares no one, including his very own son. You want to represent sin? You're going to get your ass beat down there, boy. Go get your work done. So no, it's not from the whole out that I'm trying to teach. That would be too great of a fear of God. And what happens if we did go from the whole out from there? Then you're terrified of God. And you will render him service out of fucking holy terror. Instead of, you know, Jesus is pretty cool. He was cool when we were getting free shoes and didn't have to pay for our haircuts. But now that we have to pay for our shoes, and this is one of my cliches, it's becoming one of my cliches. Now that we have to pay for our own shoes and have to pay for our own haircuts, in your minds, Jesus is a dick now. That violates his sense of fairness. So it's not him trying to be mean. I mean, it's not. If he wanted to, he'd have you on the moon right now without air. Who knows? There may be people walking the moon, spirits, without air. You're all logical enough to understand what I just said. Great harm to you and your soul as a punishment for your crimes against God is in no way or no wise a fear God to begin to learn. You're far past that. All you got to do is realize that somebody on this planet can kick your ass, and that should be fear enough. All you have to do is realize that somebody can let their dog off the leash, and that should be fear enough. All somebody has to do is call 911 and have you gaffed. That should be reason enough not to commit the crime. Have a wonderful evening.